Hello, Matujima and watching Hornbill TV. We were fed less than dogs. That single line from a rescued worker sums up the sheer depravity of what happened behind the grey walls of a factory in Muzaffarnagar, Uttar Pradesh. This isn't just a story about bonded labor. It is a story about a modern-day dungeon complete with CCTV cameras, iron brandings and pit bull trained to tear apart anyone who tried to flee. Here is the chilling blow-by-blow account of the nightmare that ended on June 23, 2026 and the dramatic escape that brought it crashing down. To understand the scale of this horror, let's break down what really happened inside this factory. It started with a friendly face at a bus stand. For 13 men, ranging from a 16-year-old boy from Bihar to a father from Nepal, the offer was a lifeline. A steady job at a disposable plate factory. Salaries of up to rupees 15,000, 3 hot meals, a bed to sleep in. They handed over their Aadhaar cards and mobile phones willingly for paperwork. That was the last time they tasted freedom. The moment they stepped into the factory, the gates slammed shut. Their identity documents were burned or locked away. Their phones were smashed or confiscated. They were stripped of their names, becoming just hands on an assembly line. To ensure no one ran, the owner had built a fortress. Canine wardens, 2 ferocious pit bulls roamed these premises, one at the front gate, one at the back. While the men starved, the dogs were fed fresh milk and meat. Digital surveillance. CCTV cameras tracked their every move. Concrete walls, high boundary walls and multiple locked gates ensured that screaming was useless. What followed was a 2-year-long descent into hell. The food. Forget 3 meals. The men were given 1 dry roti made of cattle feed every 24 hours. No vegetables, no dal, just dry grainy dough to keep them alive enough to work. Their day began at 4 a.m. and ended at midnight. 20 hours of labor, day in and day out, with only 2 to 3 hours of sleep on a cold concrete floor. If a machine jammed, they were beaten. If they were asked for wages, they were tortured. The weapons of choice, fan bells, whipped across their backs, iron rods breaking their bones, heated iron equipments, searing their skin, branding them like a cattle to remind them who owned them. Quote unquote, whenever I said I wanted to go home, they would beat me with bells, recounted Jagdish from Siddhapur, his body still bearing the scars. The owner, Ankit Baliyan, and his associates did not pay a single rupee to these men for years. But even in the deepest darkness, hope flickers. One worker decided he would rather die trying to escape than die slowly inside. Waiting for the pit bulls to be distracted and the guards to look away, he made a run for it. Scaling the massive factory wall with his bare hands, he tore his skin on the barbed wire but kept going. He ran until he found a police station. His testimony was so horrifying that the police did not waste a minute. A joint team of cops, labor officials and the district administration stormed the facility. Inside, they found 13 walking skeletons.
ये क्या हुआ कान में?
कान में बेल्ट मारा जी, कान एक
पूरे हाथ डैमेज है।
घर जा रहा था दिल्ली से, तो वहाँ चोरी हो गई। पैसे बचे नहीं जेब में। इन्होंने ये मिल गए वहाँ स्टेशन पे। अंकित नाम का आदमी। तो वो कहने लगा काम करोगे? मैंने कहा 15-20 दिन तक कर लेंगे। बढ़िया काम बताया, कहा मेहनत का काम नहीं है, बैठे बैठे का काम है जी। डोना पत्तल। हाँ, 12,000 रुपये। इसके बाद यहाँ लाया, लाके ताला बंद कर लिया। डेली पीटना, टाइम से खाना भी नहीं देना, कुछ नहीं, ना नहाना ना धोना। अगर जो मेरे कपड़े थे वो दूसरों को दे दिए, उनको पिंधा दिए। अब हमें एक ही जोड़ी कपड़े बस। ये सब बुरी तरीके से हालत कर रखी थी हमारे लोगों की।
किस तरीके से टॉर्चर करते थे वहाँ पे?
वो बेल्टों से मारते थे,
मारते थे हथौड़ा
और
से,
सलिए से मारते थे, हथौड़े से मारते थे, जो मिल जाए, जो हाथ
क्यों
में आ
मारते
जाए।
थे? क्या क्या क्या?
काम नहीं करते
काम
थे,
नहीं
मारते
करते थे, 24 घंटे काम करवाते थे, 24 घंटे कौन जग लेगा।
कितने लोग रहते थे वहाँ जो मारपीट करते?
Among them were two minors just 16 and 17 years old. The rescued were Ramu, Vikram, Narayan, Sitaram, Santosh, Shivam, Chadav, Jagdish, Rajhans, Sahil, Ranjit, Paswan, Tilsat, Ujwal and Sonu Chauhan. As police dug deeper, the case turned into a murder investigation. Investigators are now probing the death of Arjun, also known as Topi, a worker from Nepal. According to testimonies, Arjun was killed in November 2025, illegally beaten to death for resisting. His body was allegedly stuffed into a sack and dumped like garbage. The accused are now facing questions about whether this was an isolated murder or if there are more victims buried in the factory's dark past. The raid led to the immediate arrest of two key players, Shiva Tyagi, who is 26, the recruiter who lured the men to their doom, Pradeep Palian, 30, a relative of the owner who managed daily torture. But the mastermind Ankit Balian, the factory operator, is currently on the run. A massive manhunt is underway to bring him to justice. Charges have been filed under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita BNS, the Bonded Labour Abolition Act and the Child Labour Act. This isn't just a labour violation. It's a crime against humanity happening in the 21st century. As these 13 men finally board trains back to their homes in Bihar, Jharkhand and Nepal, they carry scars that will never heal. At least they carry their freedom. The question now remains, how many more factories like these are still hiding behind locked gates? That's all we have for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.